You're not going to like what I got to say. And this is so true. You know it is. Most of us, you, me, most of us spend the majority of our days feeling tired, overwhelmed, and disappointed in ourselves, certain that we've come up short. No matter how much we've accomplished or how hard we've worked or how much we've done, we never believe that we've done enough to feel satisfied and at peace. We never think we deserve a break. This feeling is ruining our lives. Is that you? Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. It's time to fix that. I am Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. This is where you do what's right for your body, as the bottom of our screen says. You do it for you. This is a 1 hour long restorative practice. Don't hurt yourself. Whatever you do in the poses, if it feels good, continue. If it doesn't feel good, back out of it. Take it to a lesser percentage or say, not for me. I'm not doing it. Totally fine. Rest, restore, refresh, rebuild. Restorative practice. I think it's sometimes one of the hardest practices because we tend to want to run from it. We tend to want to let our mind run off. And don't do that. You want to relax into it and give yourself the praise that your body deserves. That quote earlier was from Devon Price from a book called Laziness Does Not Exist. I think that's pretty good. So we do yoga every day. It's a different yoga every day. It's a 1 hour long practice. Stick around for as long as you can. And realize all yoga makes you bendier and more flexible and more mobile and stronger. But restorative does something a little different. Restorative gets into your head a little bit, and it makes you really release tension in your body that you habitually hold. We tend to hold it in our shoulders. Women tend to hold it in their hips a lot. Today, what we're going to do, think about this word, we're going to realize. Realize means to make real, to give reality to understand clearly. We're going to realize where we hold tension, and we're going to send that away and create a new reality. Our focus today is on the neck and the hips. There's about 6 poses in today's sequence, kind of depending upon how you count. They're long holds in a restorative practice. You hold for a long time. You reach a point where it's like, I want to get out of it, and then it's like, this feels really good. I don't want to leave this pose. And if you don't want to leave a pose, stick with it. Don't run away. Stick with a pose that feels good. Feel what feels good in your body and melt the tension away. All right, one way we check that is we take a stress number in the beginning. Stress number on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. Where are you at? What's your stress number? Give it a number. Turn off your noisy brain, come into a state of not doing, come into a state of just being. Grab your props, your big pillow, your blocks, your water, whatever it is that you use to make your practice good. You're right where you need to be. Be in the present moment. Come on down to your bottom and take a block with you. Maybe even take your eye shade. Why not start with that? Take the block with you, just bring it up by your shoulders. We'll get to that in a minute. All right, so legs are spread. You come on to recline, pentacle pose. Just feels so good getting here, doesn't it? Maybe cover your eyes. It feels super wonderful to block out the world. Let your legs go long, let your arms go high overhead, so your body looks like a capital X. If this is not feeling sweet in your shoulders, bring your arms down a little bit, maybe like a snow angel. Tee them out, or bring them down into like a final Shavasana pose. Shoulders away from the ears. Take your deep breaths in, and big sighing breaths out through your mouth. So sigh out some tension. Let your hips relax a little more by letting your pinky toes fall toward the earth. Deep breath in. Big sighing breath out. Let your shoulders soften. Come to peace. Peace. Deep breaths are calming, especially if you try to keep the exhale a teeny bit longer than the inhale. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathe any way you like. Don't worry about the breath. It'll take care of itself. If you would like, you can close your lips and breathe in and out of your nose. That helps you build heat in your body. And it helps you stay focused on your breath, nothing else. Hardest part, let the thoughts go. Try not to think. That's hard. Focus only on your breath. That helps. Thoughts will come back. Just send them away, and you'll think those thoughts when the practice is done. All right, where do you hold tension? We all hold it in different places. Squeeze your hands really tight into fists and just notice how that feeling's not just in the hands, it goes all the way up into your arms, your shoulders, your neck. Same thing with the feet. Squeeze the toes toward the center of the foot and just feel the tension go all the way up through your hips and into your core. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale and soften, open up. Let that breath go where it needs to go to soften the body. And realize, there's that word, realize where you hold your tension. Realize where you hold your tension when you're off of your mat. Be aware of it. Maybe squeeze and scrunch again and just tighten up. And let go when you're ready. Realize where you hold your tension throughout the day. We all hold it in different places. Like I mentioned, shoulders and hips are big areas. Be aware, realize what's going on, and that way you can help alleviate the stress when it starts to mount in your life. Sigh it out, breathe it out, and maybe squeeze it out like we're doing right now. Tight squeezes. I think it's really kind of interesting how when you squeeze your fist, you feel it all the way into your spine. And then release. Feel that feeling of release. Soften in your jaws if your teeth are touching. There's another area where we sometimes grind our teeth at night, clench our jaws, let it go. Soften the area between the eyebrows. All right, we're going to do a couple little different things here. Gently turn your head from left to right. And maybe it feels better if you bring your arms down by your sides. Do whatever feels good. Maybe you stay in pentacle, or maybe you bring your arms down to like a final shavasana. And as you're turning your head from left to right, let your neck turn as far as it wants to, and maybe take a couple of breaths on each side. And while you're here, enjoy the feeling of this little skull massage at the back of your head. Feel the stretch in the neck. And just let this feel good. Maybe you can keep your eyes closed, or if you need to keep them open, that's totally fine too. Left to right, right to left. Bring your head back to the midline of your body. Now let's find that block that you brought up by your shoulders. Take the block, we're going to put it behind our skull. And you're going to have it at its most stable height. Lift your head on up and place the block so that the edge of the block that's closest to your shoulders is just kind of on that knobby part of your skull. Rest it there. And really let all the weight of your head, it's pretty heavy, 8 to 12 pounds, let it really rest on that knobby part of your skull. So essentially your chin is kind of tucked a little bit. Now move your head from left to right here. Back and forth at your pace, whatever feels great for you. And then maybe turn the head in one direction and leave it there for a while. So just work on the back and forth for now. Then I'm going to set a little timer and you'll rest your head on one side or the other. And I'll let you know when that time is up. But right now, just take some time and just let this feel good. Maybe you find as you turn your head, you can turn it a little bit more with each change of direction. All right, we're just going to do a minute here. So pick a side, right or left. Turn your head a good strong turn. I'm going to set a timer for 1 minute and stay here for a minute. Soften in your shoulders, keep your shoulders down, and rest here. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Slowly make your head to the other direction. So just, kind of gently, slowly roll. Remember that block is at the base of the skull. Mine is not so much at the base of my skull because of this microphone thing. So yours should be lower, should be at the base of the skull, and it should feel really super good. So this is a case of do what I say, don't do what I do. Really let it feel good. All right. So you got the block under that muscle mass. I'm going to set that 1 minute timer. Your head is in the other direction. Rest here, relax here. Take it to what feels really super good. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let it go. Slowly bring your head back to the midline, feeling what you feel at the back of your skull. Let it feel awesome. And breathe. All right, so here's the deal. In your practice, you're doing it from home. Do what feels good. If you want to do this neck exercise again, totally do it. Totally rest. Maybe your whole practice today is this neck rest, massaging that muscle mass at the back of your skull. Stay here longer if you like. I'm going to move into a pose where I've got the bolster up on the blocks and I'm going to lean into it, kind of like a child's pose. If you wish to join me, come on, let's do it. If not, stay right where you are. I'm going to roll off of these blocks. I'm going to come on up to my knees. I'm going to find my 2 blocks and place them in the shape of the letter L at the top of my mat. I'm going to take my bolster and set it up here so it's an inclined surface. You may want to use your blanket. I don't know, you want to put it under your legs, or do you wish to drape it over your shoulders? That's kind of nice too. Kind of keeps you warm and you feel like you're in a little bit of a cocoon. Now, a couple ways to do this. Maybe you want to get into the knees and have your knees bent. Sink your hips back to your heels and rest your chest on your bolster. Doesn't matter so much where you have your arms, have them where it feels good for you. I'm going to sit on my bottom today, and I'm going to bring my legs around to the sides of the bolster, scoot the bolster up into my groin, and I'm going to rest here. Oh, that bolster seems really far away, so what you could do is take your blanket and put it on top of the bolster. All right, this is a good long pose. This is 5 minutes. It's going to stretch out your low back. It's going to help you lengthen in your spine, and it's going to stretch your hamstrings. If it doesn't feel good in your knees, put a bend in them. Take a deep breath in. Think of your spine getting long, and a deep breath out. Bring your chest to your setup here. Over time, in this 5 minutes, maybe you can remove the blanket and rest your chest here. I'm just going to hold on to my ankles, soften in the shoulders, and most importantly, breathe. Shoulders soft away from the ears. Maybe you wish to rest on one cheek and then turn the other cheek when you're about halfway done. Find what feels good and stay there. Deepen your breath. Breathe out the backs of your lungs. Soften and elongate your exhales. And don't hold on to the tension. I think we hold on to it sometimes. Let it go. Send your breath where you feel tense and tight. And allow yourself to soften. Get your mind out of the way. And just let the body be in this moment. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And stay here for just a second. I looked at my watch when I finally felt that it's like, oh, okay, I don't want to run from this pose anymore. It's kind of okay. And for me, that was at the 4-minute mark. So prior to that, it's really tight and it's really uncomfortable. For me today, at least, I don't know what it is for you, but you do reach a point, and that's restorative. We say hold the poses 3, 5, 7, 10 minutes long, because you reach a point where you're like, okay, I truly surrender to this pose and it's starting to feel good. So, all right, you've been in it a little more than 5 minutes now. If you'd like to stay here longer, continue to do so, because maybe you finally reached that magic threshold that you've crossed. If you're ready to come out of it, you can do that, because we're just going to flip around and come onto our back on this same setup. So where are you? Stay where you want to be. I'm going to move. All right, so come out of this pose, flip your bottom around and kind of pivot on it. Now I am going to use my blanket and my eye shade. Bring your bottom up next to this incline here and come to recline. Use the blanket because it feels so good. On your belly, on your ankles, your calves, wherever feels good. Maybe you open it up all the way. The weight feels really, really comforting. Cover your eyes with your eye shade or your towel and recline on your bolster. So in this pose, kind of like our fish pose, the chest is opened up. Arms can be down by your sides. Maybe spread your arms a little bit like a snow angel. Maybe that's in your future today. Not here where I am, but it is for some of you, I know. All right, arms open wide or closer to your body, whatever feels good. All right, so now you are in this supported pose. Let it feel good and just drink it in. Options. Bend your knees. Maybe that feels better on your low back. No problem there. Stay here if you like. Or open up the knees to the side of the room and have the soles of the feet touch. Whatever works, and enjoy it. I'm going to set a timer here for 5 minutes. Nestle into whatever pose you're in. Get comfortable. Breathe in, breathe out, and be at peace. Deepen your inhales and exhales. As you deepen your inhale, feel your chest lift up to the sky as your shoulders hug that bolster behind you. And as you exhale, imagine your belly button coming back to touch your spine while your entire spine rests on the support of this bolster. You have nowhere to go, nothing to do, just be in the present moment and let your body go. Little subtle movement here. Remove the tongue from the roof of your mouth. And just feel a little teeny more release of tension in the jaws there. Take a big chest-filling breath in and a slow exhale, emptying all the air out of your lungs. Stay here longer if you like. This pose really speaks to me a lot. Anything with fish, I really, really like. So this feels awesome for me. I hope it does for you too. I'm going to come out of this pose. I'm going to bring my knees back together at the midline, send my legs long, and I'm going to roll off my bolster one side or the other. Then I'm going to press on up. We're going to do a supine twist, but this is a supine twist with a twist. I think you're really going to like it. So I'm going to remove the blocks. I don't need them for this pose. I am going to take the blanket. You may even want to have 2 blankets. I'm going to take the blanket and put it up by my head because I'm going to rest my head on it. Kind of a little quasi pillow here. You could have another blanket or not have this blanket and place it on your body. So have your bolster nearby. You're going to use that in just a second. Come down to reclined and roll onto, I'm going to roll onto my right hip. I'm going to take the bolster. I'm going to put it between my legs, and then I'm going to rest my top leg on it. So the idea here is the top hip, the left hip, is kind of in line with the knee. So bring your shoulders back down to your blanket or your mat. Tee out your arms. You got the twist going in the low part of the body with the knee supported and resting. Arms teed out to the degree you like. And then turn your head in the opposite direction of which your knees are going. So I'm going to turn my head to the left. And I'm going to stay right here. So I'm on my right hip, arms teed out, left shoulder is down. This is a great pose. A great pose when we do our supine twist most days, but this restorative supine twist is just extra special, isn't it? So adjust your bolster so you feel really good. Maybe you want it higher up in the groin or lower, whatever, but the knee is at about ankle height, and so is the hip. 5 minutes. Really enjoy this great pose. With each exhale, maybe you notice that you can turn your neck a little bit more and get it closer to the earth. Both shoulders are down and away from your ears. There is peace in this twist. Let it work its magic in your body. Your shoulders are heavy on your mat. They've relaxed. They've let go. You have no tension there. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Bring your head slowly back to the midline. Remember that great skull massage? Bring it back to the midline. Same thing with your legs. Kind of give yourself a low back massage. Hold on to that bolster and just roll to the other side. So now your knees are going to fall to the left. Adjust your bolster so it feels right. Adjust the hip so you're now on that left hip. Arms tee out. Send your gaze up toward the sky. And then eventually, slowly work your gaze toward the opposite side of which your knees are going. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. Let your neck turn and rest and be at peace. 5 minutes here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Deepen your breath and just feel how the breath intensifies the pose. Exhales soften the shoulders even more and allow you to turn your head maybe a little bit more. Get the power in the inhale and the release in the exhale. Take a deep breath in and a deep, slow breath out. And then as you're ready, we're going to work to a caterpillar next to kind of stretch out the low back. You can just, send your legs long. Keep the bolster because it's not going to go far. It's going to come to the tops of your legs. So press on up. Maybe you keep your eyes closed throughout this whole setup process. Bring the bolster long onto your legs. Again, the weight there feels really good. And then add your blanket if you want. Now hinge forward here. Lengthen up through the crown of your head and come on down. Send your arms long down the bolster. Just stretch out and even out the back here. Inhale, imagine your spine is long. Exhale, release, let go. We're not going to be here very long, maybe 6 or 8 breaths. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And maybe this caterpillar pose today is speaking to you. After I settle into a pose, every pose speaks to me, and I want to stay longer. But I'm going to come into final Shavasana now. Time flies when you're having fun. All right. What I always like to say is I'm holding space for you on your mat. You make the effort to come here. You set aside this hour. You do it your way. Maybe if you're familiar with legs up the wall and you want to do that, go for it. I'm going to come into a nice long Shavasana pose because most days, I set you up for final Shavasana and then pretty much close out. And you can pause your button on your TV if you like. And then come back to your practice whenever you want to close it out. But today I'm going to stay with you for the whole final Shavasana because I think a lot of times people tend to run out on final Shavasana and you shouldn't. So I'm going to encourage you to do it today, to stay here. All right, lots of ways to do it. I'm going to bring the bolster underneath my knees. I'm going to take my towel and I'm going to fold it up. I'm going to place it under my neck. A bigger towel might feel nice too. Cover up with your blanket, however you want to cover up, maybe your whole body, part of your body, whatever. Cover your eyes with your eye shade and find peace here. All right, here's one other little thing you can do if your blocks are close by. Looks kind of weird, but it feels really good. Take one block, place it at the top of your head in its high position. Take the other block and rest it on top of that block, and then let the edge of the block, you know how you had the edge of your block on your skull? Maybe when we started, maybe rest the edge of the block right on the bridge of your nose. Looks weird, nobody's looking. Let it feel good. This is a very peaceful pose. Cover your eyes with your towel or your eye shade, if you can wiggle it in there. And rest here in your final Shavasana pose. Arms down by your sides, palms face up. Breathe in, breathe out. Adjust so you are comfortable and be at peace. I'll let you know when the time is up. We've got about 5 minutes here. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Imagine your eyes resting heavily in their eye sockets. Cheeks are soft, ears are soft. Remove the tongue from the roof of your mouth and unclench your jaws. If your teeth are touching, create a little bit of space there. Softness in the breath in your throat. Shoulders away from your ears. Arms down by your sides and feeling heavy. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. No thoughts, just your breath. Come back to deepening your breath. Take a deep breath in. And a deep, slower breath out. Stay here longer if you like. You can hit that pause on your remote and enjoy this pose even longer. If it's time for you to wrap up your practice and get back into life, let's start to wiggle our fingers and our toes. Move the motion up into your wrists and your hands. Now bring your hands and your feet down. Tighten and squeeze the feet and the toes like we did when we began. Tighten, squeeze, feel the tension, know what it feels like, know when it's building in your body off of your mat. Recognize it, and then release, let it go. Send your breath to where it was tight. Feel and realize how good it feels to let that tension go. One more time, give it a big squeeze, toes squeezed, fingers, fists squeezed. Feel it all up and down your spine. Feel it in your core, everywhere, in your neck, and then let it go. That's within your power every day. Live your yoga off of your mat. Be aware of where you hold tension and let it go. Reach your arms up overhead. Take a big good morning stretch. Stretch it out. Point your toes. Let it feel good. Wiggle. Move. Sigh it out. Let it go. Arms and legs bend. Roll on to one side. Roll your props away. Use your low arms bicep as a pillow for your head. Breathe deeply. As you're ready, slowly press on up to a comfortable seated position. Maybe your eyes stay closed. That's a little bit of a challenge. Come to what's comfortable in your seat. Hands to prayer center for a moment of gratitude and thanks to yourself for being here and doing your practice. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Blink your eyes open. You did it. You're recharged. You're refreshed. Don't you feel better? And didn't it happen fast? Stress number you took in the beginning. What was it? And what is it now? And when you realize there is nothing lacking in you, you are perfect just the way you are, the whole world belongs to you. Have a great day, everybody. Love you. See you on your mats tomorrow. Bye-bye. Hello, girl. Ah, you're a good girl. Bye-bye. Good girl. You're a good girl. You're still here, and I'm really glad for that. Keep this in mind. The path is made through repetition. Keep showing up, and good things will happen. You know that. I'm glad that you're still sticking around. Tell your friends what the yoga is doing for you. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody on Facebook and YouTube, and they can join in anytime from the privacy of their own home. Tell them about our practice, please. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Stay on your path, enjoy your yoga, and have a great rest of your day. See you on your mats tomorrow.